Lord, it's been a minute. Okay, we're getting the cards ready for the joint connection, and I will have them up on the screen shortly, so bear with me as I get this conundrum ready. Also, we do have coaching within the members. This live session is going to be members only, that they can communicate. This is a gift to them for their love and support to keep this channel afloat. And we are going to be covering the energy for the joint connection. If you do want coaching, you can come through. The link for the YouTube membership is directly below. And we are going to put the cards up on the screen. I've got them here. I just haven't pulled them back out because we did the super chats earlier. Super chats are as hosted. There may be a point in time when I am getting ready for 2024 that we may have them twice a month, but I will well and truly warn you for those if you need to know, okay? But very separately, I do coach twins. That is via the website. You can go to the link directly below. Now, we are starting the month, or ending the month rather, on a very big note, and that is because we are wrapping up the number 9 energy that we have been working through. So a lot to do with our values, our spirituality, a lot to do with Venus, a lot to do with our heart chakra, being the hero, going on the hero's journey metaphorically. So spiritually, it can be one of those times where the directs are there and we're trying to navigate that situation. It can feel a little bit tedious in the mix, but there are positive things coming through. And it depends on how you directly work with this 9 energy. I have been making mention and reference to it. You are going to need to go into meditation and protect your psychic energy during the moon in Aries, which again, I will be discussing during our webinar that I am hosting within the YouTube membership, and it will come out to the public, and it is going to be based around our eclipse. Although this moon coming up, the 29th of September, is in the house of Aries. And we're going to go into the reasons why it's quite relevant with the very next eclipse. We are moving into eclipse season again. And it has been quite an interesting few months, especially in the spiritual community. Now, so these 9 energies, my advice to you would be clearing your home, using crystals, getting grounded, avoiding red. Also, especially if you're feeling like very aggressive, it would be really removing any red food groups at a temporary level. Always follow a professional for such, depending on your dietary needs and any special conditions you have. But red energy can be meats, heavy foods. Really avoiding those during that time and keeping your hydration up and trying to be aware of your anger. So our angel number 9 is calling us to tap into our spiritual energy at this time. It is also energy of our values, spiritual, religion, and the Hermit mode card in Tarot, which during the moon in Aries, we can be making very assertive kind of decisions. Where can we sit with this and gain clarity? Mercury and Venus are both direct. Spiritually and in the spiritual community, we are going to have subjects really to do with that inner child coming up and having to have courage. So especially moving into this Aries moon, it is going to make us feel insecure. There is a potential. It could make us feel that we're out of our depth. Are we on the right path? What are we doing here? So just go easy on yourself if that comes up, but be in the awareness. Now, in the twin flame path, it does signify change. This can be coming into communication with your twin. It can be coming into union and navigating that. And I have said 100 times over, coming into union is harder than the separation. I used to think the separate, but it really is that difficult. And that's why the coaching's there. So the twin flame path, it can involve reunion, union, a reconnection, a separation if they're in a karmic relationship, you or them, revisiting old connections and closing those cycles and those chapters out. It also can be a critical phase within your path relating to the past, present, and future and shifting forward. So navigate that how you will. A ruin cast. I need to get the book. We have the ruin cast. Now, I do believe this is to do with intimacy. Surprise, surprise. It's the infinity symbol. It is to do with change and our perspectives, but yeah. Sometimes on the more mundane level, it can mean that we're feeling a little bit negative, but we're assured that everything is in alignment. So I'll get the ruin cast out. I have started uploading these into Canva so that I don't have to 100 times over upload, reload. Yeah, so you're not bored. You can look at my face going, I know it's in here somewhere. There it is. See, you gave your sister a hand. Let's go back to the book. Okay. Skylark Badger Air. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? So, Mercury direct in Virgo. Okay. It is the last ruin cast, and mystical ruin roan signifies eternal weaving and beginnings. Now, when we do look at infinity, for instance, it is 0. And new chapters, brand new beginnings. Going from 0 is almost like a tower moment. So it can be like, you know, we're having these new beginnings. It's like a tower moment. We're having these new starts. And so the infinity is the eternal weaving. Like everything is in alignment. You know, even endings are in alignment. New beginnings. It can be very Scorpio-like energy, and Pluto currently retrograde is messing us up. So when we have that, we can directly feel that an ending or a tower moment means something negative, but it's kind of not always so. It can be that we feel the worst, we fare the worst, but sometimes these natural flows are all like Mother Nature on the planet. So there is this weaving that we are going through at the moment, and it is a new dawn. So it can be like, the thing I picture at the moment is the Wheel of Fortune, the Fool card in Tarot, the Tower card, but what comes after the Tower, the Star. So there is a new chapter, and it's about your attitude that you're going into it with and how you're going to navigate that circumstance. Okay, so a new dawn beginning at sunset rather than the dawn. Thus, darkness precedes the light, and understanding the whole as a physical cycle. New beginnings, awakening, transformation, breakthroughs, clarity, synthesis, hope. It is a completely positive ruin cast. You know, and in the community, we're always like, no, but what does that mean for me? When we move through that and we go beyond that, we do get to a point where we realize that everything does happen for a reason. So it's happening for us, not to us. But that all comes with time through the ascension process. And not always do we feel that. Oh, thank you, Ali T. You're very sweet. Considering I'm in my gym jams. I was saying I was going to do the in the bed tarot with Yildiz readings, but, you know, I did tell Twin and he was like, oh, that would be interesting. Yes, you bet it would be. Anywho, so we have this as a completely positive ruin cast. We're having a new beginning. We are going to get excited about it. We're going to be open that good things can happen for us. We're going to be aware that bad things happen to good and bad people. Okay, so we're trying to remove that victim consciousness with Venus direct in Leo. We're trying to move to that point in believing in ourselves and having faith. But also getting that whatever's coming is brand new. And we are becoming part of that collective where in the big wide world, as the globe is changing, we are witnessing it. And, you know, some could say it's a blessing, some could say it's a curse. I think it's both. It's celebrating the mystery of creation itself, the light that is replaced by darkness. The sun is about to smile on you. Reversed, it means a wake-up call. Well, I think a lot of us have been having wake-up calls. Would you think? Now, crowning energy. This is what we have coming through. And the funny thing is you wait till you see masculine's cards. It's polar opposite to this. And I think in the joint connection, both parties here are really seeing what they do and don't like. Okay, so you're seeing the instabilities. You're seeing the things you do and don't like. And you're making revelations. And there has been for a bit, especially I would say since May, within the connection, be it it's in the 5D, be it it's in the 3D, both parties here have been going through a huge renewal. And that's within the masculine element of things and the feminine. And it has been very unstable. And just to acknowledge that and to say to yourself, look, this has been tough times. This has been a very difficult cycle. We are coming out of the whirlpool. We're going into a new chapter. We can feel the overwhelm, especially moving into eclipse energy. You can feel almost like something's waiting for us around the bloody metaphorical corner. But believe it, everything does happen for a reason. So let's try and trust this process. So spiritually, both parties here have really experienced instability. Now, that doesn't have to be that it's just within the connection. that can be that it has actually occurred with other people. And that has caused apprehension. That has caused, hurt people. So the instabilities have taken a bit of time for us to unpack and heal, for us to regress back during those retrogrades and to heal. And now that it's going forward, there can be some apprehension and anxiousness because we're feeling that, what if it's going to be the same as it was before? What if it's not going to be any better? Am I better to be single? Some of you can be going from single to couple to single. But again, what I am seeing here is it's the freedom to be yourself. It's the freedom to not allow the past to define you and to be open to a new chapter if you can take the positive attitude on. The thing is, sometimes spiritually we can feel that we've been cheated, we've been hurt. So how could you turn over a new leaf? And it's saying to you, you need to look in at this situation knowing that you are a new person and that person is a new person also. And it's not about giving a person a benefit of the doubt. It's seeing and taking your time and seeing if these things have transformed. But if you have changed, everything else is going to be different because it can't relate to you in the same fashion. So there has been a feeling, I would say, within the joint connection of paranoia to do with the past. It's almost like the ghosts of girlfriends past. That can be fears, that can be insecurities, crosswise within the connection. But I do feel both parties have had that experience and both parties are trying to work through it. I do feel you're also trying to make healthy choices. Sometimes healthy choices are the things that we feel are going to keep us safe, but nothing's really safe, right? So it's about how can we actually look at this connection, yes, from a realistic standpoint of the yeses and the nos, but also from a point of view of just because you make a healthy choice doesn't mean you're safe. You know what I mean? It's like if it's a healthy choice for you and you feel taking on a brand new attitude and going into it is going to be good, cool. But I do feel you're both trying to keep it pretty safe. You're trying to be healthy. I also do feel there could be a complication with a friend. This could be a family member, a father figure, or a friend. This also could be a male energy. This could be so platonic it's ridiculous, but there could be, and I don't know why I'm getting this. I feel it's like the shoe's on the other foot at this point. I feel there could be some apprehension and insecurities surrounding this individual. And sometimes this king energy here, and I'm not getting a bad vibe from the king, like your connection's at threat, but it's an inconvenience. Okay, this is really a nice person, but it's about creating those, making choices in our lives and realizing where maybe we've had habits to enable other people and they're coming into these connections and they're directly impacting it. Or it could be a thought that you're physically having that by this person being present in your life in some shape or form, it's going to cause a bit of a conundrum later. Do I feel this is coming up in masculine's life? It could be in a sense of maybe jealousy or insecurity, but it also could be a 3D circumstance that they're currently dealing with. But for some, this is just a revelation. I also feel they're taking on an attitude of wanting to be a more mature individual. Okay. And this maturity does feel very positive. It doesn't feel negative. It feels positive. It feels that they're evolving and realizing by coming in gentle, mature, they're going to get a better outcome. I also feel some sense of judgments coming. And I do feel it is to do with tradition. I do feel it's going to be a pace that is going to be healthier. I think the transits have helped us make major decisions in our life. It's about taking that first step and releasing burdens, acknowledging them, or as much as we might maybe be revoking some of this energy or taking it back. I do feel both parties here in the mix are on each side of the fence trying to remove situations or eliminate them because they are becoming a burden in the long run. But I also do feel this patience is coming to a head, and I do feel between, I would say from now till about the 20th, I would say some big tower moments are happening. Do I think they're bad? No, not all of them. We each have our own path in our lives. And I do particularly feel that whatever this is, whatever this burden is, this blockage, this situation, we're gradually chipping away at things. But if universe spiritually feels that we're ready for a more radical change, they're going to be handing us some towers, okay? So those towers are there. With my Scorpio placements, for instance, when I have this, I'm usually having a conversation with the universe going, you're whooping my ass again, right? You come in a server on a platter. You know I'm ready for it. I intended to make those decisions, but now you're telling me, you know what, Yildiz? It's here. It's happening. It's happening right now. It's happening today. And you're not waiting. And I do really feel whatever this is for each one of you in your path, it's happening to get you your goal. Okay? It is happening to give you your goal and your dream. So please try and trust it. Now, the masculine, look at this. I mean, masculine, man, they've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. They've been thinking about you. Their tradition, the way they see life, parent energy. There is one particular parent that's very keen on you. Very, very keen on you. Some of these energies might have transitioned over. They do feel very keen on you. They are getting rid of, look at this. I mean, this to me is lineage. We're looking at the past position here. This to me is the energy of looking to the past, doing some legwork in it. This could be to do with inheritances, things that they owned from their past, carrying them around and then going, what do I really need? What do I really need? Where am I going in this life? This can be getting rid of things. This also could be giving you something that is very sacred and special to them, that maybe was from a family, wanting to share those things, but also wanting to bring things into the life with you. And really, all this patience they've had is to actually have something nice for themselves for once. So what could that be? For some of them, it's going through tumultuous times, realizing love was right in front of them all this time, realizing you're like family to them and home. I'm almost hearing Dorothy, click, click. It's like wanting to come home, wanting to come and see you, wanting to be around you. This also can be, I do feel them wrapping up a connection. Now, does it have to be that they're in a romantic relationship right now? No, not at all. This also can be tying up the paperwork relating to it. It could be filing for a divorce. It might be an ending cycle with a tribal family, negotiating those situations, maybe money coming in, money going out. But again, this passion here is there for you. And what I see them looking at is the physical future, is not realizing that, realizing it now, really, really realizing it now, is that their love and how they're feeling for you is that spiritually they do want to settle down with you. They want to retire with you. They want to have a life and actually feel comfortable. Sometimes that factor really scares them. There's a lot of passion involved here, and it makes them feel very anxious. But this innocence, unbeknownst to you, is these emotions are quite heightened and they're really wanting to come through and have this give and take. Sometimes through some of their actions and their modes, it does look a bit manipulative and they're aware of that, but they don't mean it to be so. But I do feel this moon is really going to shake some shit up. Let's just metaphorically say that. How many minutes into the video? We were past 8, so we're good. Got to be good here. Now, feminines, look at this. Look at this. What about me? It isn't fair. It's okay. I feel you, sister. Okay? Look, have you felt you've had some pretty crappy luck? Makes you want to have a stiff drink. Let's just be frank. Yes, you have had some hard yards, but guess what? If we've had all the bad, what's left to come? It's the good, right? I used to say I was a bad puppy in a previous life. But you guys have been feeling, am I cursed? Am I ever going to get my, my Omar Sharif, my beautiful person, my love? It is saying that don't feel you're cursed. Now, I want you to repeat after me. And this was something that I used on my path. Good and bad happens to all. Good things. When I'm having a done on a hard day and it's like, you tripped over, you stood in poo, you cut your hand, you lost your job, and you're looking up to Gaia and you're like, you got it in for me, bro. I would literally have to look at the people on the street that were homeless and tell myself to shut my neck hole and say, do you know what? The truth is, this is our path. We chose this life, right? We are experiencing all vibrations because it's being human. You're going to have your good days, you're going to have your bad days, but tomorrow's going to be different. And so when you're in that, acknowledge that, but also try to not feel cursed. This also can be behavior patterns that we need to change in communicating with these people. When we're communicating with them, change attitudes, but also if something bad has happened most recently and you had been in communication or you are regressing back and you're looking at a circumstance you had, it means that when you acknowledge it, what you can do from here on in is not say, well, I'm probably never going to see them again, so it can't be resolved. It's going, no, now I know better, I do better. And I guarantee you that opportunity will present itself to you and you'll have an opportunity to correct it. Okay, so it's about correction. It's about, if we're having regrets, to compartmentalize them and say, but I'm different now, so that won't happen. It's going to be a different outcome. So spiritually feeling, you guys could be like, okay, am I cursed? Why does this keep happening? Ask universe and your guides for support. Know that this has made you pretty tired. You also may be a little bit paranoid that they're giving all their juice to other people. This spiritually, you could be wondering why the heck there is silence. Now, the sound of silence is good. If it's quiet, it means you haven't done anything wrong. If it's quiet, especially if you've had a major conversation of late, they're thinking about it. Okay? No statement is a statement. It's I'm still pondering. If you push, you'll get an answer. 9 times out of 10, it'll be, well, you pushed me into a corner, so I will respond. Allow the person to digest the meal. It's like taking someone out for tea. That's such an Australian thing to say. Taking someone out, for their 8-course meal, and, you're ramming it down their throat, then you're going to go dancing or boot scooting. And they're going to be like, whoa, man, it's the journey. It's not the destination. So let's just digest the meal, because something here in the mix, if they have gone quiet, if you're saying to yourself in the silence, why is it silent? Why haven't I heard anything? How can you sit with that differently? Something that was hidden from you also was going to come to light. I'm not feeling it's a bad thing. I'm not feeling it's a bad thing. This person is tired and run down. This person also, like you, has gone through this ascension path. I do feel also a lot of you have been having a lot of money going out, and I feel it's coming back. So if it had felt like, you had money coming out of the air and money, wish pennies from heaven were falling, we'd be happy for that. But if you had felt as though you literally had more going out than coming in, it is going to start balancing, but it's also about us having a brand new relationship with money and what we value. I also feel, if you have been spiritually feeling this person is very centered on money being the issue, it generally, if we have a twin that has a particular mindset and habit and it's really nagging at us, look at it, because we also may have an unhealthy value system with that situation. It may be something that we're undervaluing. So it could be that they're fussing about money and having to start all over again. And you're like, oh my God, I wish they'd just get over it. Could it be that we have an unhealthy relationship with that factor and we're actually not thinking about tomorrow? I had the always thinking about tomorrow, never living in the present, and then it swapped energies where twin was doing that and I was doing the other. I was like being the more, okay, I need a structure, I need to be more assertive, I need to be more present in the moment. And then it was other times I had to learn to be more like twin, and it was, I need to just let go for a change. I need to just go and have some fun. It doesn't have to be monetary. I don't need to worry about what's coming because I don't even know what's around that corner. Maybe I should just be present with this hair right now. Does that make sense? So find the link to it, but I do feel it could be to do with blockage. I do spiritually feel some of you could be thinking because of money they're chained to a circumstance. I do think they're shaking that off. And also feel some of you could be feeling, why are they not valuing me? I do feel a gift coming. And this can be something where they are being really, really genuine. I also feel there can be some people around you at the moment that are spiritually testing you and maybe wanting some of your attention, being quite genuine, but you're a bit apprehensive. Could this person have amorous feelings towards you? I feel so, but I also feel TF and the sacral chakra energy is actually raising. How can I put it? For some of you, you want an able, willing, bodied, masculine energy in your life. Someone who's decisive and, knows what they want. They're going to go for it. They're going to move through. They're going to go for it. They're going to, take the bull by the horns and they're going to make this happen. I just be really careful because when this does happen, you are neither ready nor prepared. I can generally tell you that. And you turn into a pussycat. You're like, I wish they'd bloody hurry up. And then they turn up and you're like, what? So what I'm saying is there is going to be a bit of a surprise for some of you. And this could happen at a drop of a hat. Be careful what you ask for, okay? Psychically, intuitively, you could be very connected into their energy. I do feel you're seeing, especially for those of you in communication, there's a big shift with them. You're going to get the reasons why they are holding things inside. Sometimes we want to know the truth. Sometimes we're not ready to hear the truth. And some of these can be real trivial things that they're wanting to tell us. So you could be going, why do you act with this the way you do? And they could tell you the reason why. And to you, it could be so trivial, but to them, it's huge. There is a reason why they have gone internally, and it's so they can be the more adult energy of themselves. And I do feel a decisive decision coming up. Some unexpected situations, definitely from the Ruin cast. This is overall going to be a very positive thing. If you need to make major decisions this week moving into next, be open to it. You could negatively be looking at situations moving forward. If you need to address anything and have candid conversations, for those of you in communication, do such. The other thing I will say is from feminine's point of view, look, masculine's thinking about you. I'm just going to say, you, however, may be feeling, am I cursed? Unbeknownst to you, this person's thinking about you a lot. Sometimes when they do reject you, it is to protect you in the temporary while they're resolving a situation. I'm not making excuses for them. I'm not saying that makes sense. But that's what I said. I said back here, we have to be open to hearing the truth of situations. Look at the Hermit card. Wrong section. Masculine. Hermit card. Was the masculine, wasn't it? The feminine is looking at the masculine being in Hermit. I knew Hermit was here somewhere. Okay. So if you're wondering why the hell they're quiet, we can't complain when a person's quiet and they're trying to unpack something. We might have handed them a conundrum. They may be dealing with a conundrum. And so in doing that, we have to be open to hearing what is said. So communication, if your throat chakra's been coming up, I do feel communication coming through. I do feel also sometimes we need to hear something. We may not necessarily like it, but it's the truth. Okay? So what I do see is feminine, honest to gospel, you're recovering. Okay? You're recovering. It's been a minute. It's been a long month. Move into the heart center. I do feel whatever you're dealing with and your question, I do feel your question is, can this turn into that? Yes. Okay. You also will know when to act. Be open to it. You will know how to address it. Don't be your own undoing. Okay. Be open to the changes. Ask universe to aid you. I do see this person thinking about you, and I definitely feel what the instabilities are is happening on both sides, but a big change is coming. And I do feel some of us may not be ready for it, but I'm there with you. If you want to come and join us for the eclipse energy that is going to tap into that, zodiac by zodiac, you can even look at your twins, come through and I will see you tomorrow for the webinar. I hope this helps. Be ready. Information is power, apparently, and I will see you for the next super chats, or you can purchase a private booking with my very limited calendar.